Hello, drawing in person. Wait, on a Monday? I thought you didn't do Mondays. Well, like I said, I put out a Discord thing because it's due to an unexpected circumstance, like I said. Review this PogChamp Arlecchino. Okay, give me just a second to finish my setup. Don't forget to like the stream, Mr. Max. But the thing is, I need more than that. If you just type in numbers and then just say, look at this account, I need you to put in the username as well. Because if people just type in random numbers, that is so hard for me to find if I have to, like, scroll back up for any reason. Hey, it's Sunny. Hello, Sunny. Normally, I don't do Mondays. Well, mostly because I've been having to, like, go to the doctors. Before, it was, like, every day, but you guys know what's going on. It's hard to do that. But don't forget to like the stream, those of you that are watching thus far. Just give me a few minutes to finish getting set up. Okay, there we go. Now I can see the chat. It's been a long time since I streamed anything on Monday, but that's literally because I didn't get to do today what I needed to do. Hello, Lucius. How are you doing, Lucy? Are you gonna say hi to me, Lucy? Not via text. Turn on the microphone. Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
How you doing, Lucy?
I'm okay.
What's going on, Lucy?
Nothing.
You brush your teeth, Lucy?
Yes.
You floss, Lucy?
Yes.
Did you get mouthwash, Lucy?
No.
Why don't you get the mouthwash, Lucy?
Because I can't go out today.
You gonna get yourself some mouthwash? Tooth hygiene is very important, Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing, Troy? And Lucy, hope you're doing good as well. Yes, I hope that she gets some mouthwash very soon. Alright, is SR Max 015 still there? Where's Nox, Lucy? I'm still here. Okay.
He's upstairs.
You gonna pet the dog?
No.
Does he tackle you whenever you do that? And Max, again, can you give me the name of the profile that we're looking at? Max plays. Okay. Hello, Ackerman. What was it? 181. Yeah. I prefer that people do it all in one chat, so that way I can find it easier, but the stream just started, so there's not that much to dig through. I thought Monday, no stream. Me too. But it was unexpected, Ackerman, because, well, I was supposed to get a ride today, but their car broke down, so now it's, I'm just here, so I figured I would spend the time to do so. Okay. Why don't you use Brave browser? I don't know what that is, but this works. Sorry, I just started and I was making sure everything was set up. Oh, there's so many ads. Alright, you just wanted Arlecchino. Okay, you have top 1%, but top 1% in what category? Ah, Melt. Okay. Attack Sand, Pyro Damage Bonus Goblet. That's nice to have a Pyro Damage Bonus Goblet on set. Hello, Dina. How are you doing, Dina? Hey, I love this. The talents, all of them are maxed out. It's too often that I see a character with this high level of investment that has just the normal attack leveled up, and then the rest is like level 1. Because it's just like, well, we don't use them. But meanwhile, you actually do. I'm waiting for the bear. Well, Dina, you're gonna have to wait till Stuff Sharing Sundays for that. Or you'll have to go back through the Stuff Sharing Sundays and find when I drew the bear. It's literally the last game that we had to play. There was more games. I'm gonna re-roll that Sands, kinda guaranteed 40 crit value piece there. Unless you do decreed reshaping, it's not. There's no, unless you do decreed reshaping, it is not in any way guaranteed. My llama has 4 artifact builds: Deepwood, Silken Moon, Gilded, the new Nodcrush set. Are there any sets? Is there are any? Ackerman, did you have a stroke writing that? Is there are any sets I can build her with? What are you trying to say? It's decreed, the last one. Okay, then if it's decreed reshaping, then yeah, it's worth it. But the thing is, I don't think this is, you should reshape this, Max. I think that it would be foolish to reshape this Sand. Because you're going to be like, oh yeah, critical rate, critical damage, give me all of that. But now your Elemental Mastery is gone. Unless you want to do Overload Arlecchino, this Elemental Mastery is pretty important, you know? It's pretty important to getting that fat critical hit on those melts. So I don't think you should reshape it, man. If you reshape this, you're gonna lose like half your fucking elemental mastery. This is 80. You're probably going to chop that down to like, what, 20? Your elemental mastery is cut in half. Your melt and vaporize bonus is halved. That's a lot of damage, man. I don't think you should do it. I think you should leave it alone. Hello, Shadow. What's going on, Shadow? But this is an A+ Arlecchino. That's wonderful. I honestly think that you shouldn't mess with her. Let her keep her elemental mastery. It's such a good stat. I mean, yes, the leaderboard says this is, like, not the top 1% average. But when it comes to really small minutia, Akasha is inaccurate. It's good for a general compass, but it's not, like, literally the one. I guess also if you're looking for just leaderboard rankings and you don't actually genuinely care about your Arlecchino being, like, as strong as she can be, then yeah, you could also re-roll it for that purpose, because critical rate and critical damage give you, like, more leaderboard points than elemental mastery. You get more points on the leaderboard for that. How much crit do I really need for Skirk? I'm currently at 150 out of 168. There's no right answer for that, Cuber. But I would say, since Skirk doesn't get any kind of special bonuses, no, I can re-roll a crit damage circlet on set 4-liner with critical rate and elemental mastery. Max is 85% as double cryo resonance is 15% for Skirk. Well, yeah, but realistically, once you get to like 60% critical rate, you're reaching like close to the maximum ceiling of what's even theoretically possible. You can stretch more beyond that, but if you do, then it's like, okay, well now you're just trading stats. You're not even getting more. Lindsay said you literally said you wasn't streaming today. Yes, but I also sent out a second announcement in the announcements channel that due to unexpected circumstances I will be. But it's just going to be short. It's only going to be a little while. This is a nice Arlecchino though. But yeah, man, I guess if you have a plan to not lose it, 2 cryo teammates are required for cryo resonance, right? Yes. Yes, that is correct. Look at my skirk if you want. Why do you people always wait? No, I'm not doing this. Why do you wait until after I close the browser to request your second character? Put them both in, or put in one. Look at this shit. This is all. You guys always do this. Why did you wait until I close the browser? You waited until I closed the window. I even sat around for a full minute and a half. No. Hey, I just got here. No, that's okay. It's different, though. Max was here for, like... Let me see. At least 15 minutes. Okay? You could use Brave browser, you don't get any ads on it. That's the thing. Honestly, when it comes to ads, Max, I would be a hypocrite if I told you that I'm gonna not use I'm gonna use like ad blockers and shit, but I generate my revenue from ads. So, you know, can you review my Verissa? Yes. Yes, I can. And also, Rosari, drawing in person, thank you for putting your character up that way. Varka, ignore your sand. Okay. I just wanted to let you guys know that it is going to be a short stream. Troy, do you think I could share my Pokemon game? Of course you can share your Pokemon game. That's fine. Video game music doesn't get copywritten. Not really. Unless it's a piece of shit company like the one that has Dave the Diver and made their music. Then, yeah, it will be. But worst case, I'll just go back and erase the footage from the stream, which I have done. But I doubt that it's going to claim video game footage. It doesn't. Okay, there we go. Troy, use the Opera browser, switch to optimum mode, and turn on DNS. Browser ads will stop showing up completely. Again, as I said, like, I generate my revenue from ads. So it'd be kind of hypocritical to just use a bunch of ad blockers, and honestly, I never really have. Ever before. Okay, let's put the Akasha system back up. Now, you guys gotta stop doing that shit. Just like, you're right here, wanting your characters reviewed, and then you don't type it in, and then I close it, and then afterwards you're like, oh yeah, can you look at my character? Like, son of a bitch. It's like when I just got done cooking breakfast, just made everything for myself, made all the plates and everything, and then you bring your friend over. Afterwards. Table's already made up. Alright, let's enter the other people in here. Varka. You request your second unit after I've closed Akasha, then you'll have to, you're gonna be put on ice then. I'm gonna start doing that. Somebody requests their second character after I've closed it. Fuck it, you're gonna have to wait. Okay, there we go. Holy account. Oh yeah, NCI-A93, he's very committed to his characters. He builds very aggressively. Just appreciate my humor, sir. Damn, 97 days. We need to update this? Jesus Christ. Alright, Varissa. P.S. Troy. What's up? Alright, Varissa. I like that she's level 80. Nice. Normal attack is level 8. Elemental skill, level 1. It's your birthday soon? Happy birthday soon, NCIA-93. The elemental burst is only level 4. Right, so, Widsith, that's nice. Attack sand, electro damage goblet. The goblet is the off piece. Critical rate circlet. The critical rate circlet is, good. It's hard to get crit rate with Varissa. On my birthday, Genshin gives it to me, a reset of the Stardust shop. Hey, happy birthday, NCIA. It's coming soon. Oh. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm slow. I feel tired. Like, I feel like, I feel like apple juice that's had all of its sugar sucked out. I'm just, uh, I was supposed to see the doctors today, but I didn't get to them because the car broke down. So, gonna have to wait till Wednesday. But anyways, focus. Right. So about your Verissa, I see this very commonly on people that have ridiculous level of investment artifacts and they want to save cash. Um, you went like all the way up to level 8 on her normal attack, but then 1 on the burst. She uses both of these things like a ton. Like, she does Volcano Kablam a lot. A whole lot. A whole hell of a lot. Like, every time she uses her elemental skill, she uses the burst. So, and she also does smack with her skill a lot. It's not a lot of damage, but I would at least, like, level it up to 6 or something. But anyways, something of a concentration failure that I see happening is they'd level this up all the way, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to, like, 8 or 9, and then the other half of the skill is neglected massively. It's a lot easier and cheaper and probably more cost-effective to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1 on each, rather than getting the normal attack leveled up so high, because you use both of them with Verissa. And the amount of resources that it took you to go from level 7 to 8, you could go from 1 to 6 on the burst. Does that make sense? So, a little bit more evenness in your levels could have probably helped you here with your Verissa being stronger. The Widsith being at level 80, I strongly suggest you get it to 90 now, because we got an event now where we can get all of the stuff we want from any domain. So that's good. Hello, Amadeus. Don't forget to like the stream, and welcome. I like your Verissa statistics. She's at 2,000 roll value. Any character that reaches 2,000 roll value is where I say that it starts becoming really hard to get better pieces for any reason. And this is the threshold where I would say stop, and then maybe if you really want to upgrade the character, then just think more towards sanctifying elixirs, because using more resin is just a waste. You would get way more damage getting your Verissa skill leveled up to like 6 or 7 or something than you would spending 800 resin across like 4 separate real life days and then getting nothing. That 800 resin would definitely like get you some more damage. So, oh, that's a nice Verissa. Yeah. So for your Verissa, because she's got all of her shit together but doesn't have the upgrades that are guaranteed, I'll give you an A minus. Because she's got everything. She's got a great weapon. She's at level 80. She needs a little bit more because she's a main DPS, so she does need that 90. But your elemental skill and burst are just kind of left behind. But your artifacts are very solid. Even the sand is a nice piece. Alright, NCIA-93. Update 2 days ago. Oh my god. Sorry, yawn. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Ah, that's a little bit better. Amadeus asks, what are the rules of the review? I'm going to pin this. Check the very bottom of the live stream. Very, very bottom. The unspoken rule is to wait until he closes Akasha before you request. Son of a bitch! Don't do that. We'll look at your Varka. How many characters? Everybody can get up to 2 characters no matter what. And on days, or I'm sorry, anybody who's ever donated for any reason, your account is on Asia server. That doesn't matter. I can review accounts from any server no matter what. Since this is on a third-party website. If anybody's ever donated for any reason, then they can get 3 characters, and then people that are members, they can have 4. So that way I can give more to people who are there. You'll wait till he closes Akasha. You do that, and then I'm not. If you don't put your review requests in now, you're not getting them because this is gonna be a short stream. All right, you guys got maybe I got like maybe an hour left, max. Daydreamer would love this Pokemon game. Would she now? Anyways, let's look at your Varka. Enter your review requests now. Just check the very bottom of the description, Amadeus. The very bottom. I got everything that you want. You got no character to show. You can even ask about different characters. Daydreamer says, I don't remember my user ID. Is it... excuse me. Is it your American account named Orange, Daydreamer? You just got a scoff, yeah. Oh, by the way, you can have characters that aren't built and you're looking for ways to build them better. Or a character that you have doubts about. It doesn't have to be a character that's like a top 1%er. But anyways, looking at this Varka. He's got his signature weapon, wonderful. Elemental skill at 10. Nice. Elemental burst at 9. This is what I was talking about when I was saying things like leveling up things evenly. This is nice. Because if he'd had something like 10 on his skill and then 1 on the burst, that would be really imbalanced for his character, you know? But anyways, attack sand, attack goblet, critical damage circlet. I very much support that. There's some people that accept... give me a Nefer build guide. Well, it's got to be a character. Show me what you have to present. Sometimes people will have, I don't know, they'll have Chong Yun, but say these are artifacts for Nefer. Show me, give me a review that way, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes people ask for that, but you got to give me something to work with. Elemental Mastery, Critical. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Amadeus, don't forget your, check the description, please. Because you forgot your username. Add that in. Because if I enter in the numbers and it's the wrong account, I mean, that's your ass because, you know. Yeah, she hard scales on Elemental Mastery. This is a wonderful Varka. You're gonna have a hard time building him any stronger. I'd say if you did an elixir of any kind for the sand, but that's kind of not necessary because it's already a double crit sand. That's got elemental mastery on it, and it's attack main stat, so there's not much. That sand is disgusting. Why? It's literally a crafted one. Right, but you got double crit elemental mastery. Well, I want an attack sand. Okay, Amadeus, yes, I'll get you in. Amadeus TTV. Okay, 811470. Oh shit. 4892. There we go. There you go. Yep, I'm getting you in line so that way everybody can see who's next. But that's a beautiful Varka, NCIA. And I think NCIA had a Nefer. So since you wanted a Nefer guide, he's got a Nefer that is good to look at. So you can see a good example. And Nefer is extremely hard to build, by the way. So this right here, when you see this 2,190 roll value, this is extremely high compared to somebody like Flynn's. This is a really, really, really strong and solid Nefer. This is a strong Nefer. She's good. Any character that reaches like 2,000, you're gonna struggle to find better artifacts. Most days you will walk away with not even finding one piece that even has potential to be comparable to the pieces that you have. And then on top of that, Elemental Mastery is the lowest chance main stat to roll in the game. And she wants Elemental Mastery, Sand, and a Goblet. And then she doesn't even want Attack or anything else for the substats. She wants Elemental Mastery in the substats. So, like, Nefer is extraordinarily hard to roll for. It wouldn't be uncommon to see and what is an average Nefer have only, like, 1,600 or 500, maybe 1,400 roll value. Like, significantly lower than this. It would not be, Amadeus says, really? My Nefer is at 2,300 roll value. I'm not satisfied. You have really high standards, man. These characters are not easy to roll. These are... Yeah, she's even harder to roll than Skirky is because of the Elemental Mastery. Like, to give you an example of why... yeah, just for people that are here that only just joined or might not be getting it. Let me find somebody else who... Yeah, Flynn's right here. Okay, like, look at Flynn's. Flynn's has, he likes crit rate, crit damage, attack, elemental mastery, energy recharge. Like all of these stats. Now look what happens. You see his nearly 3,000 roll value. But look what happens if we take all of this away. He's back to 2,000. If elemental mastery was the only thing, his Flynn's is on equal levels with Nefer. His Flynn's is equal with Nefer. If we take away all of that, and like combine that with the fact that attack percentage is easier to find, there's more drops of it. This Flynn's is like worse than his Nefer, if we look at it that way, because his pieces were like significantly easier drops. But because he likes attack and likes elemental mastery, like it's possible for him to get 4 stats on a flower or a feather, but Nefer literally can't get 4 stats. She can only get crit rate, crit damage, elemental mastery. So Nefer's sand piece will always have 2 dead pieces, 2 dead stats, and then her goblet is always going to have 2 dead stats, and the circlet is always going to have 2. And the flower and feather is always going to have 1. So, like, even the most optimal Nefer in the entire game, like, perfect artifacts, like you were able to open up the game's engine files and just generate the artifacts, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dead stats that you can't do anything about. That's why Nefer's so fucking hard to roll. That's just an example. And let's look at Amadeus. He's next in line. Because I just indulged and clicked on his flins because NCIA, he's been here a lot. And, well, I just needed to use his characters as an example. Okay, so Amadeus, let's look at what they want. And it was Yelan and flins. Okay, cool. What's the point of reviewing a C6R5 character? Amadeus asks. Sometimes people just want to show off their hard work. It's not necessarily an advice sort of thing. In that instance, it was literally just me just clicking on his flins. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that he was C6R5. I just wanted to show, like, you know, Flins has, like, many, many more roles that he likes. But yeah, it's just for fun. Sometimes people just want to show off their hard work. And other times, a person's character is really good. And, like, that's the thing I run into the most often, Amadeus, is not bad character builds, or, like, it's more that people sometimes just have really high expectations. Sometimes in a way that might be unhealthily high, and they just need a little bit of reassurance that their character is good, you know? And sometimes a little bit of a slap of, like, how hard it is to improve their character, you know? Like, I can already see this Yelan's probably about to be fucking crazy, but to see a character and go like, damn, this is so, I've been farming artifacts for almost a real life month now. Why don't I have better pieces by now? Just a heads up, I have Yelan's signature weapon. I just gave her Elegy for the damage test. Well, anybody, I taken it into account resources a lot too, Amadeus. I don't have as high expectations for somebody that would be like adventurer rate if they're below 60. But if they're at 60, I can safely assume they have lots of 4-star options available. Then that if they have a 5-star weapon, then they probably either switched it with another character or they have a 4-star. They just don't have it equipped for some reason right now. So I know that you definitely have the resources for it. So resources is a big thing too, you know. But let's take... That's the thing. I have 0 4-stars built. Well, it's time to start building those 4-stars, Amadeus. The Imaginarium Theater awaits. Either that or I guess you can have a shit ton of 5-stars, but I built all of my 4-stars. And when I say build, I definitely built them. I've never used. What about Chevrus and Bennett? And Sucrose? And Jingcho? Not enough resources? It also depends on what you try to build a character with. If you're trying to build a character and it takes you 6 months to build a character, something's wrong. Either that or you have like really, really high standards for the characters that you want. But anyways, let's look at this Yelan. So I'm seeing that you're going with 2-piece Golden Troop and 2-piece Wanderer's Troop? Are you doing some sort of Bloom Yelan? I'm wondering what's prevented you from going for something like 4 pieces of Emblem of Severed Fate for the additional energy recharge and direct damage. It could be that you just have these because it's got good substats. And that's what you're going for, is a salad build. In which case, I mean, the elemental skill damage might help in some sort of niche vaporizing thing. Bloom Vaporize. She is a DPS. I feel like you didn't... I feel like you didn't really cook too well with this build, considering the percentages of damage that she probably would deal. Because if it's in a Bloom team... I don't know. Are you using Yelan as the main DPS who's on field? Are you just normal attacking with her? If that's the case, I mean, with your... Oh, yeah, you don't use 4 stars, so that's probably the problem. Is you don't have a proper thing here. Yelan does vaporize damage. Yeah, she definitely can do it. But after using that elemental skill 2 times, like... She's got like a 10-second cooldown. Skill goes up to like 500k. Yeah, that's great. So I guess this is some sort of main DPS thing that you got going on with Yelan to vaporize with her skill. So that's a unique build. I would well, I'll just give you a grade for being unique. I if this was a standard Yelan where she would support with our DPS, I'm sorry, with her elemental burst, I'd probably give you a significantly lower grade because she's not really doing that. And if you switched her signature weapon, she would have like no energy at all. Shouldn't there be a pyro on fielder then? Yeah, he's using the elemental skill to vaporize with Yelan as the main DPS herself. So I guess you did cook with something weird. This is definitely a homebrew build. And you can force it to work, but I feel like you're kind of forcing her to work in a weird way. And you use Malvika for off-field. So, okay, so this is a build that's not here for, like, meta. This is here for flavor. That you want Yelan to do the work here. So, yeah, I guess I'd give you, your grade is not going to be an A+ or B+ standard scale. I'm just going to say your build is unique. But in terms of, like, being a burst support and being used in a traditional sense, I'd probably give this Yelan, like, I don't know, like a C-. She's there, but like the energy is... Oh my god! Holy hell, why did I have to ring the doorbell so loud? I'll be right back. Hello? Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright, I'm back. Before you go review my characters, says Ackerman. Let me look at your... Did you put in your thing, Ackerman? Because I remember you were waiting. Ackerman, did you ever type in your anything? I don't see your, I checked your chat history. I don't see anything. Sorry about that interruption. But anyways, yeah, I'll just give you the fact that your Yelan is unique, and she's not being used in a traditional way, so I'm not really going to grade her. But if she was being used traditionally, I'd give her like a C-, because the energy is rough. If she tried to use her in a traditional way like this. But she's not meant for that. So she's special, though. So she is special. Not bad, though. She's special. She's unique. So it would be like if you, I don't know, built on-field DPS Bennett, you know? It's not a traditional way of using him. He's usually a burst support, you know? So it's not bad that I'm saying, oh, well, if you used her in the regular way, because she's clearly not built for that. But she definitely could do some serious damage. Shit, what was your elemental mastery again? 180. Damn. from just pure substats. That's a lot. And the Wanderer's Troop. Sheesh. Okay, the other character was... Flynn's. Right. Sorry, I know that I'm a little bit slow with the reviews, but that's because I'm, exhausted. Alright, attack sand, attack goblet. I love to see that. Critical circlet. We got Flynn's at level 90, and his elemental skill and burst are leveled up, and his weapon is leveled up. I like to see those three things the most. Leveled up weapon, talents, and character. Then I look at the artifact. 4-piece Night of the Skies Unveiling. That's very good. I really like that you have a beefy amount of energy. Average RNG hater. Holy hell. Genshin stream on Monday? Ain't no way. Well, it will be ending soon. As I said, it's going to be very short, you know. 810 roll value on this goblet. That is insane. Big burst every rotation type of energy recharge. Yeah. Yeah. There's something to be said about that with Flynn's. If you get enough energy with Flynn's, you can do the little mini bursts plus the big burst every rotation. And you might, there's other Flynn's who don't have as much energy, and they say, no, I'll just get more crit rate, crit damage. And that's good, but then they won't be able to get the big burst like he can. He'll be able to use the big elemental burst after all of his little things. 2 mini bursts every rotation. Yeah, it looks like you got enough energy to get the big burst, too. 2 mini bursts and the big one. Maybe even 3 mini bursts and the big one if you're sweating. This is a crazy Flynn's. Fucking A+ on this one. I don't even have any commentary to add to it. He's just an A+. He's perfect in every way you can do. But he's beyond what I would rate as an A+. Troy, should I pull Malvika's weapon on her rerun? The build is the same as before. He's won my max roll value. That's insane. Is there anybody else that wants a review right now? Hello, Miro. Should I pull her weapon? In my opinion, unless you can save enough wishes to completely guarantee that you're going to get Malvika's weapon. Ackerman's username. Also, Amadeus, thank you for coming. 181710365. Did you see that? How it changed to some sort of Chinese user ID? Oh, okay. We got Escoffier. Also, Rosaria Main, while you're here, if you're still here, I'm about to cook you, Rosaria, for not having Rosaria in your profile. You got Arlecchino as a profile picture. This is disgraceful. Change it now. Okay, Ackerman. Ackerman, I didn't even get your characters because you just typed in the profile name and user ID and username, but no characters. Alright, 777-494-792. Daydreamer wants Escoffier. Troy's getting scary. 739-491377. You better change your profile picture. I had said, should I pull her weapon? Oh, I thought you wanted a review of your characters, because you said review my characters, please. But I would say, unless you can save up enough to guarantee that you get weapons, it's not worth it. Because remember that weapon pulls are not a 50-50. It's a 37.5. It's not 50-50. So the odds are stacked even more heavily against you. And then if you lose that, if you can save, if you have enough to guarantee the weapon, then yeah, go for it. But the thing is, you've already got Wolf's Gravestone, which is a great weapon in and of itself. And me, I'm a player who considers resources. Because it doesn't matter what you get advised on. It doesn't matter what advice anyone gives you. If you can't afford that advice, then it doesn't help you. It'd be like, oh, you don't have enough critical rate? Well, if you want to reach 100 crit rate, all you got to do is get like 3 more constellations on this 5-star character, and then pull the signature weapon, and that'll fix your crit damage. He doesn't have Wolf Gravestone. You do not have Wolf's Gravestone. I just noticed that. But it puts you in the Wolf's Gravestone bracket, which is really weird. I thought that she did have it. I was wrong about that. So if you don't have a 5-star weapon available for her, go for it. And I would say double down on going for it if you have somebody else to give you this, if you can give this title shadow to another character, go for it. Also, the other thing is, if you do not have all of Malvika's teammates, meta-wise, it's probably better to go for more teammates and more characters. Like, you know, Malvika, Seatlali, Mualani, and all of that shit. Gaming can hold that. Okay, so that's resources right there. This 4-star weapon doesn't go to waste. So you're pulling a 5-star weapon. Malvika gets the weapon. And Gaming can use the extra 4-star weapon. So it's generally in Genshin, it's far better to just pull characters. Because the thing is, if you fail the character 50-50, your 50-50 carries over to the next banner. If you fail the 50-50 on not even a 50-50, the 37.5, God, that's so rough, on the weapon banner, you're stuck spending the rest of your wishes, and you can't decide, oh, well, I'll just save the guarantee for the next weapon banner. No, you get fucked. It's gone. You lose that guarantee, which is so destructive to your account's resources. It's like if I took away your guarantee after you just lost a 50-50. I just took it from you for free. So don't wish on the weapon banner unless you can fully guarantee. And that means saving up, how many was it? 160 wishes? Minimum. Otherwise, it's not worth it, man. And Daydreamer wants Escoffier. I missed what Blue Regard wanted, but I caught Blue Regard's user ID. Oh, it's Columbina. Okay. Ah, don't forget to drink water, everybody. Seat Lolly, Shalonen for burst battery, Seat Lolly for interruption, melt buff. Troy, don't forget my Chaska review. You wanted Chaska? Okay. Thanks for the Fear and Hunger 2 tele-electroscope video. Hey, you're welcome, Fry Snatcher. Helps a lot. You're welcome. Thank you for subscribing and all that stuff. It really helps me out. I should, maybe I don't know, maybe I should make more of those Fear and Hunger videos. That game is really fucking hard, man. That tele-electroscope is video is full of stuff of like, how the fuck would I ever even figure that? How would I know? How would anybody figure that out? Ads help. Yeah, that is still to this day one of my most viewed videos, by the way. Daydreamer, Escoffier. And I won't forget about your Chaska, NCIA. And I also won't forget NCIA. I did invite you. Alright, let's see. Escoffier. Alright. So, this is a baby Escoffier. She was just born yesterday. Now we got 4 pieces of Golden Troop. That's a really good start. We got Attack Sand, Cryo Damage Goblet, Critical Circlet. So, okay, this is a start. Flower has critical damage and energy on it. That's good. Attack and critical damage on the feather. So, the flower and the feather are, I'd say, serviceable, having at least 2 substats that are favorable to the character on each of them. They're worth upgrading. The sand, there's a chance you could improve it, but if you don't want to farm substats, this is fine. Attack is fine, because she heals based off of attack. Cryo Damage Goblet helps her with being a sub-DPS. And I would say the Circlet, the lower the investment level of your character, the more that I favor getting a critical rate Circlet instead of crit damage. Like, if you don't want to farm substats at all, I would say I was stuck between the Eye Spear or Skyward Spine. I would say take the Skyward Spine because of the higher base attack. I don't have any crit rate. Yeah. Critical rate Circlet, even if you got the Skyward Spine, I would still say just get a critical rate Circlet, because when you don't farm substats, the fact that characters get like base 50 crit damage, but the base crit rate is only 5. If a person has no substats, like crit rate is just always better. And the Skyward Spine will let Escoffier heal better because it has more attacking power. Give this weapon to somebody like Eon-san. The eyeball gives 40% attack after skill. Wouldn't that be better? It only gives it for 10 seconds, and if we look at Escoffier's uptime, what is this? It's like, what is this, like 20 seconds duration? No. It's like 10 seconds. Okay. That said, the Skyward Spine is a 5-star weapon, so it just has straight up more attack in the first place. So when your artifacts are giving you like 47% attack and stuff, the artifacts are helping more. I can only pray Escoffier gives me enough crit rate with her Ascensions. Also, Daydreamer, I would also say that this weapon is probably better used on somebody like Eon-san. It's a good weapon for the resources, but Escoffier, depending on the team that she's in, if she's not with Skirk, a Favonius Lance would be extremely good for her as well, because she'd be able to provide energy to somebody like Risley or Ayaka. Eon-san was wearing it. Yeah, give that back to Eon-san and then give her this Skyward Spine. The base attack is just really good. Just give her Favonius. Favonius is less good when Skirk is the main DPS of the team, because the character who's on field gets the most energy from the particles collected, and Skirk just kind of wastes that effectively, sort of. Since she's the on-fielder, so she's the one. Unless you did a thing like micromanaged and got like... That's sweaty. I wouldn't even tell anybody to do that. I wouldn't do it myself. But yeah, Favonius is an option for DPS main, or for damage dealers that aren't Skirk. I hate getting these conch things for Escoffier. You wanna, well, I'll be able to help you sometime get them, Daydreamer. But anyways, Daydreamer, this is a solid Escoffier. The only thing that I would say is maybe get a crit rate Circlet. That's it. The rest of it is serviceable. Even though the sand is not great substats, if you're just trying to get a functional character, she can get it. I won't give you a grade because she's literally still cooking. Literally. You see what I did there? Yeah? Did you like that? You're still cooking? Because it's Escoffier? Why aren't you laughing? She's my bun in the oven. You're gonna have some buns in the oven. Alright. Blue Regard. I didn't 90 her because of the conscious. Damn. Okay. Excuse me. Akasha, please. Please. Okay, there we go. Columbina. Hello, Nishid. It is taking so long to load. There we go. It took a while to load. Oh my god. I couldn't even move my mouse on the screen. Anyways, let's have a look-see at this. Alright. Columbina. She's level 90. Love to see it. Favonius Codex. Interesting choice of weapon. Okay. Elemental skill is 10. Burst is 10. Normal attack is 9. Very, very, very good Columbina we got here. HP Sand, HP Goblet, Critical Circlet, and we have 35,000 hit points. I can't remember if it was 35 or 40,000 that Columbina wanted to be at for the maximum of one of her passives. I can't remember. Is Artie online, Daydreamer? She has Chlorand? I don't know. Nishid wants Columbina and Durin. He wants to improve Durin's. Let me know what to change. Okay, you're gonna go after NCIA because NCIA wanted to show us Chaska. So, 182039293. Oh, I just messed that up really badly, didn't I? 1820. Oh my god, my fingers aren't even in the right position on the number pad. 182039293. There. Do you guys see why I ask for account names, though? Look at this. I entered that in twice, and this is what pops up. A Chinese account. So I go in and refresh. And this is not it. I'm more than sure that Nishid that I just wrote, I entered it correctly, did I not? 182039293. No, so hey, Nishid, you're gonna have to check your user ID because whatever you putting in there is not getting put. It is kaput. Do my Chaska? Okay. Let's just finish his Columbina and then we'll look at your Chaska NCIA. Oh my god, please load. Oh my god. Please, Akasha. Good god, it took forever to load. Good night, Ackerman. Please. What is going on with my... Jesus, it's like the website is just hogging way too much RAM. Oh my god. I can't even see the character. No, I mean like the website literally isn't responding. How much memory is the website taking up? Jesus Christ. The ads on this website are taking up how much? Almost 3,000 megabytes for Akasha? Bro, Genshin doesn't even take that much resources. Why does it take this much? Yeah, fuck this. We're just restarting Chrome. Ad blocker, my guy. Yeah, I didn't use ad blocker literally because, well, I mean. Oh, now it wants to load. No, it doesn't. There we go. Now we can see it. NCI, he's got a... you're not blind. This is an A+, by the way. I don't have anything to add to your character. This is wonderful. Also, you got 1,000 flat HP here. Crazy. Blue regard. Alright, NCIA. Where's this Chaska? Here it is. Oh my god. Task manager. We're gonna have to end this task. Jesus, Chrome. Alright, close. There we go. That review was fast. Rude. I gotta open it back up. My Columbina better, though. Blue. Well, I have nothing to add to his Columbina. It's Silken Moon Serenade, so she's gonna work together with every lunar team, which is nice. She's not on the new set for giving herself her own personal damage, but the new set is extremely popular, and people who have Silken Moon Serenade Columbinas probably pulled Columbina when she was newer. And I just got all of the people in line nuked because I had to close and open back up the browser. Chrome was getting beside itself. It's down to like 900 on resources now. I think that it was trying to just load in way too many fucking ads. Which is insane how many ads that is. Like, to take up 3,000 megabits, that's like multiple ads stacked on top of ads. Jesus. I need the energy to always have the burst ready and for Flynn's. Yeah, the fact that she's got Silken Moon Serenade with the Favonius Codex means she just drops lots of energy. I have a Columbina that I use the prototype Amber on because she can heal just a little bit. Alright, Chaska. Attack Sand, attack Goblet, critical circle. Hey! Your Chaska is the exact same as when... Oh, no, you got a tiny bit more crit damage. You got a tiny bit more crit damage, NCIA. Well done. Ugh. I just yawned, and look at this man's pieces on his artifacts. If you look very closely, he's got like a lot of unicorns. Sometimes I just want Chaska compliments, you know, C6R5. I have one more Hydro in the team for that. Like, look at his pieces. They're all unicorns. You got five crit rolls here, 5 crit damage rolls there, 4 crit damage rolls here. The feather is the only one that's not a unicorn. I have nothing to add about this Chaska. It's perfect. A real short review like that is, that's a good one. If I can look at the character and take only 2 seconds to tell you that there's nothing left to upgrade, that's it. I can do another reroll this Friday. Stop it. Get some help, NCIA. Alright, that looks like it's it for reviews. And, alright. I'm gonna stream for like 21 more minutes. My bad, I stopped sharing stream. Trying to clean some of the lag. Don't worry, Lucy. I wasn't streaming your screen while all of that mess was going on. Lucy and Daydream... Oh, no. Never mind. I was going to say, Lucy and Daydreamer, you swapped your pictures, profile pictures again to mess with me. Didn't you? But no. Daydreamer just has Lucy's profile picture. Good night, NCIA. Thank you for coming, and I'm sorry we didn't get to the Stygian Onslaught, but... Miro waited until I closed Akasha. You're gonna have to wait. Because that's it. I've got 21 minutes left and I need to spend this resin. Miro, you've been here this entire time. You know what you're doing. Right after you close the site, Miro. Every time. And I know Miro was here because he talked earlier. I'm not in a hurry. Okay. What about me? Nishid, you never even entered what character. You never even said what characters. You just said, can you review my characters? And then we just talked about your Malvika weapon, but you never said which ones. Oh, later. Okay, later on you did put it in. You typed in Kalabina and Durin. Right. Alright, let me spend this resin. So that it's spent. Then I'll open up the website again. Yeah. I see it. I checked your chat history. I saw it. I'm using this opportunity to get Varissa and Columbina's skills potentially up to 10. And then I'll be back to Leyline and Mora farming. Ah. When we are doing Zenless Zone 0 reviews, when are we doing? Since I have no idea what I'm doing in that game. I don't either. I know nothing about Zenless Zone 0, and I will not pretend to do so. A long time ago, once upon a time, Nero, I attempted to just do a little bit of a thing where I showcased some people's, like Daydreamer, she wanted to show her Honkai Star Rail characters. But we couldn't do anything because I just literally show the character and there was nothing to add. Because, well, I don't play the game, so I wouldn't know. Oh. Okay. Let's listen. Let's go to a place with some nice music, like Vorkasha's Oasis. Miro did the reviews. Oh yeah, yeah. I think I remember that. It's just like, at that point it's Miro tactical gaming because I'm not doing anything. All right, there we go. Daydreamer said pulling characters is fun, but building is pain. Like the stream if you haven't. The game is very fun, not gonna lie. More combat orientated. Yeah, Genshin tries to do this thing where it's like, it almost seems like sometimes they're a little bit afraid to just like throw lots of combat events at us. Because this thing right here, this event is fun, but like, this has nothing to do with combat. Not really. It's just daily commissions and resin spending. I guess you do have to combat to spend resin. Milliastra Wonderland is an acid trip. This is all talking with characters. But I mean, oh, is it fun? Yeah. Tower defense is pretty fun. It is pretty fun. The events that they do throw at us are fun, but when they throw a combat event at us, most people I've seen hated the tower defense event. It honestly was not that bad, but it's probably because Troy plays lots of strategy games, so I understood it immediately. I could say with certainty though, like there was probably a lot of people that did not like that, and I'd imagine it would definitely be a struggle if you didn't play. If you don't play like tactical or strategy games, like I could totally see some people not picking up on certain things as quickly. Because, you know, they never did it before. Hey, Lucy, there's a EXP Candy XL. And all of your Pokemon are shaking up and down. And why does your PSN Pokemon have no health left? Feed him candy. Alright. Alright, let's open up the Akasha back. I'm only going to stream for about 14 more minutes. So let's do Miro's characters. And Miro, you can have 4 characters, not 3. You're a member. You can have 4. There we go. Alright, sorry. Let's get your characters, Nishid and Miro. I don't remember the order which you guys asked, mostly because, again, I may not. Ugh, I may not sound it, but I am drained, guys. I'm like extra tired. Nishid, you missed the last 6. Nishid, you missed the 6 when you wanted Durin and Columbina. It's a different user ID. You didn't type in the 6 correctly. Again. I found it in a later one. What? Why is it not here? Uh, 182-039-2936. There we go. It didn't work when I typed it in, or when I pasted it, copy-pasted it. All right, let me get Miro's. I'll copy-paste his. Oh my god. I am yawning and stuff like crazy. I'm so wiped out. Jabai, Columbina, and Lauma. He only asked for 3, but he can have 4. Do Miro first? Okay. Silver Song. Hey, Silver Song, I'm so glad that we can use Akasha again, and we don't have to use Enkanomiya anymore. Now I can load multiple accounts at a time. Okay. It was Jabai. This is so much, like, easier on me. And also... oh my god. Yeah, I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna rest after this. I'm yawning like crazy and stuff. And I went to the wrong place, guys. I've got this sleepy background music, which is making me relax, and it's making me want to go to sleep. it's making me want to go to sleep. Okay. Alright, focus. Alright. Jabai, she's level 80. Wonderful. Her skills and burst is level 80. Level 80 weapon. Very good. I look sleep deprived? How do I look sleep deprived? Oh. Alright. Oh my god. Jesus. Yawning again. Okay. Focus. Sorry, it's so hard to focus. She's got her signature weapon. That's lovely. Can I get 2 more reviews on my other account? Yes. Just do it now while we're here. My resin is spent, and after this, once I close Akasha, the stream ends. So if you try to wait until afterwards, you'll have to wait till the next stream, homie. Okay? So get them now. Jabai, she's really good. 2,300 roll value. It's nice that Jabai likes a little bit of energy. I don't know how often Jabai uses her burst in rotation. But since she's the on-fielder, there's not a lot of geoparticle generation, like characters like Jing Cho that generate like 4 geoparticles. I don't think there is anybody that does that, like other than maybe Zhongli. But 4-piece Night of the Skies event. This is a really solid Jabai. I would honestly give this Jabai an A+. And there's room for improvement, like getting the character to 90 and the weapon to 90, obviously. The talents being at 8, it takes a long time to reach level 9 in your talents. Like a long time. So that's not quick, and it's also very, very expensive. But the weapon to 90, not as expensive. And ascending to 90, that's just questionable as to whether or not you even have any crystals on your account. Because if you don't, that's going to take forever. If you do, then you can get it right away. Yeah, I'm slowly building her since Linnea's not out yet. That makes sense, because Geo crystals, I will say, I don't say this often because we don't get a lot of Geo main DPSs. Geo crystals are the least plentiful crystal that there is when it comes to boss fights. So it makes sense if somebody's only 80 on a Geo character. I'm a little bit more lenient about that than other characters. Hydro characters, I'm a little bit more harsh. Electro characters, a little bit more harsh. And Pyro. Hydro, Pyro, and Electro characters, those crystals are significantly more common across all of the weekly bosses. Like, if we add up, like, which bosses drop what crystals, there's literally one source of Geo crystals. One. So in order to make Geo characters 90, it's not uncommon for people to have to spend Stardust to do so. And I know a lot of you are really tight on Stardust, especially on accounts that are newer. Your Stardust is gone. You don't have enough. You have no more. You're empty. So, this is an A+ Jabai. The only thing that would be a quick improvement is leveling up this weapon to 90. Because we got the event going on that you can get anything any day right now. Other than that, that's it. This Jabai is perfect. I'm not seeing any easy upgrades either. Yawning. 8, 9, 3, 4, 7, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay. Okay, let's look at Lauma. Lauma. Alright. Elemental Mastery Sand and Goblet. So, something I've been starting to see is sometimes there's some Laumas that are grabbing an Elemental Mastery Circlet. Namely in, like, Nilou parties instead of a critical circlet. Which, you know what? That does make sense, because the Bloom Cores, like, they belong to Lauma. But if you did Hyper Bloom or Burgeon, then the critical rate or damage circlet is better. Like, much better. Because, well, obvious reasons. So, that's just an opinionated thing, and it's also situational. But it might, if you, I know you probably don't use Nilou, but for anybody out there that does use Nilou with Lauma, the Elemental Mastery Circlet might actually be a better option for you in that Nilou team. Also, I love the fact that she's leveled up with her weapon, and the talents. This is a perfect example of a really good Lauma. And he's got 142% energy recharge, and the signature weapon gives extra energy. If you didn't have a signature weapon Lauma, you would probably need a little bit more energy, but they've got the signature weapon. So I think that gives energy. Does it? No, it just gives more Lunar Bloom damage. Okay, there's a chance he might need a little bit more energy. Maybe. Depending on who's in the team and what type of energy is getting dropped. I do need more energy, but in a Nefer over 1,100 Elemental Mastery is not needed. And that makes sense, because, yeah, you don't make any Bloom Cores with a Nefer team. So, yeah, that makes sense, Miro. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, you see, that's why I was saying that Circlet is an iffy thing. It literally depends if you're making Bloom Cores or not. If you do make Bloom Cores, it's good. If you're not, maybe not. I meant I use Nilu. You do? Oh, it's because you have Nefer in the team. Right. A+ Lauma, though. Regardless of what team you put her in, she's got such a strong statistical build, she's going to be fine in all of them. Regardless of what her circlet is. Wait. Wait for what? What are we waiting for? That's the wrong Lauma? What do you mean? How many Laumas do you have saved? I typed in. It's 25 minutes ago. How recent can it be? You only got one Lauma. Refresh. You upgraded it? What happened to the goblet? I'm pretty sure the goblet looked very different from this. Oh, you got 5 pieces of Silken Moon Serenade. Hey, congratulations on that. That's nice. But, I see that you have a goblet that's changed a little bit. That's sad. That said, I mean, extra credit for having an on-set goblet in 5-piece, but, I get it. It does make your build economically stronger so that you can replace one piece if the piece is particularly weak. That being said, the, my Lauma is on the new set. Ah. Okay. I have to come back to that. Oh my god. Let me get through these reviews because I got like 7 more of them, then that's it. I forget who the last character was. My eyes are all watery and shit. It was, Colomina. Oh god. Guys, I feel like I'm a Monster energy drink with no sugar in it. That's what I feel like right now. Like all my sugar's just been sucked out of me. My eyes are all watery because I keep yawning. Son of a bitch. I can't even see straight. Okay. There. Oh my god. 20 rolls of critical, goddamn, and 85 crit rate, and 219 crit damage. This Columbina is going to literally shit on everything with indiscriminate nature. Level 9 and 9 on the elemental skill and burst, only 4 on the normal attacks, but that makes sense. So for Columbina, I would honestly say, guys, if you have less than 3 or 4 lunar characters on your entire roster, and if you plan to pull less than 3 lunar characters, and I mean like lunar character teams, not 4 stars that are not allowed to trigger reaction, but 5 stars, then Columbina's normal attack is worth upgrading. Assuming that you're doing something with Dendro. Because there's a high chance that you will be put in a situation with Columbina where Columbina needs to be the on-fielder for some reason with your Dendro or Bloom teams. Or where it is very favorable for her to do so because her normal attacks can literally shit out tens of thousands of damage. But for his account, Miro, where he has more lunar characters, it's extremely unlikely that that Columbina will be put in a situation where she needs to use her charged attacks. But for somebody like me, where Columbina is my one and only lunar character, I frequently get put in situations where Columbina has to do the on-fielder and stuff. So, if anybody's ever wondering, should I upgrade Columbina's normal attacks? It's a roster thing, and that's why his Columbina doesn't have it leveled up, because it's not worth it for Miro. Because his Nefer is going to consume that time. Columbina will never have enough time to use those charged attacks, ever. No matter how hard Miro button mashes, even if he got a robot to macro the game for him, he will never use charged attacks on Columbina. It's just not enough time. So that's a really nice little thing that I wanted to highlight there for everybody that is watching. So that's why I have my normal attack leveled up, but he doesn't. So A+ Columbina, she's wonderful. And he's even got 153% energy recharge with the signature weapon that gives energy. This Columbina is amazing. All right, now look at the llama because it should be updated. Damn. All right, llama. Lauma's on the new set. Okay. Okay, so Lauma being on the new set, she's definitely a critical circlet using kind of character. It's so sad to lose all of those Silken Moon Serenade pieces. Maybe you can give them to Yehoda or something, Miro. If you, I don't know. I hope you do. Alright. So the first thing that I notice about your llama on the new set is I'm worried about her energy. Because 146%, I was thinking, okay, you could probably squeeze that. There's a way for you to squeeze that. But being at 122% energy, I don't know, Miro. Like, I feel like your Silken Moon Serenade build was a little bit more solid. But I'm definitely worried about that energy. And the signature weapon doesn't give energy either. It's just a bunch of elemental mastery and bloom damage. So I'm very worried about that. I don't know how you will decide to reconcile that. But that being said, she's definitely going to hit like a truck. C6 Nahida and C6 Columbina. Oh, the constellations. Right. How could I forget? Constellations. It's a vertical investment. Never mind. Okay. Problem solved through through the constellations. You missed Miro's moon goddess? No, I didn't. I already did his Columbina. His Columbina is wonderful. His Columbina literally gets an A+. There's nothing to improve on his Columbina. His HP was 40,000. It was amazing. Like, there's nothing wrong with his Columbina. Alright, Nishid. Alright, what was your two characters again? Because it's been a while. It was Durin and somebody else. Durin and something else. And I forget for the other account. Okay. Durin. Okay, first thing that I look at is Durin's level 80 out of 90, which is good. His elemental skill is leveled up first, and it's balanced with his burst. I like to see that. That's very balanced on resources. Going for 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, and repeatedly is very good. And having enough elemental skill upgrades helps you have enough energy. 145% energy. I think you might need 1 or 2 more elemental skill levels to make the 145% like get full energy from 0 in 1 elemental skill. For the other kind, Jabai and Arlecchino. Okay. So Moonweaver's Dawn, absolute pog champ of a weapon. That makes him Durin work in Overload and Vaporize. It works with both, so that's good. 4 piece a day from the Carved Winds. Very good. Sorry, hiccups. Attack Sand, Pyro Damage Goblet, Critical Circlet. These are all amazing pieces. You got over 2,000 roll value. This Durin gets an A+. He's good. He's very solid. Or you know what? Not. I'll give you an A, not the plus. You get the plus once you get the weapon and the character leveled up a little bit more. Character and weapon, level them up, you get the plus. I'll just give you an A for now. Nah, fuck it. You get the plus. It's good. He's a solid Durin. He's a good boy. Well built. He should definitely serve perfectly fine. If you wanted to improve this Durin, though, I would say that elemental skill levels are absolutely the most important thing above all else right now. Because it's so hard to get tons of talents because you have to wait for the specific day of the week, take advantage of the event right now to try and get a crown on his elemental skill. The reason why I say crown his elemental skill first is so that you can measure the exact comfortable amount of energy. Because I can never comfortably say, oh, well, you have enough or not enough energy when you still got more elemental skill energy generation on the table here, and you're not entirely sure if 145% is enough, or maybe you need a little bit more, a little bit less, if you have too much or too little. Like that feels terrible. And you'll never be able to be sure. You'll be like, oh, well, I might have too much energy with my artifacts now, or too little. You just never quite know exactly where you are. Miro says my Durin is absolute trash. Haven't farmed the new set. You'll get him up there, Miro. And, if not, you're sanctifying elixirs. You could just build them with only elixirs. Change the plume? Question mark, says Arise. No, I would not change the feather. The reason is you got crit rate, you got attack, and then a very large chunk of your energy is coming from this feather. Me personally, I was comfortable having like 140, 150% energy on my Durin before I applied the constellations, and I was at level 10 on my elemental skill. And you're really close to that same amount that I personally was comfortable with. But you might not feel comfortable yet because you might be missing just a little bit of energy. But you're at level 8, so you still got more on the table. So leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because the thing is, Durin is just like Xiangling. If you miss getting his burst, and you have to wait for somebody else to collect elemental particles, any team that Durin is on, they're relying on him to put that pyro out. If he's not putting that pyro out and he stalls out, it's horrible. It is horrible. So, and Arise, I would like to make an extremely powerful point to you. If you don't have enough energy, there is nothing you can do. You can't use more Favonius weapons. You can't use more. You can't swap to him and feed him part. You can't do shit. You could do nothing. If you have too much energy, though, you're still getting your burst. He's still performing. It's literally the line of he performs or he fucking doesn't. Like, imagine how bad the Stygian Onslaught feels with Durin if Durin lacked energy. And he starts with 0. That's horrible. You'd have to do something like equip multiple Favonius weapons on other teammates just to feed him enough energy to get his burst up on the first rotation from 0. That is ass. Don't even get me started on equipping the Favonius sword on Durin. So yeah, if you want to upgrade him, focus on getting this weapon leveled up and the elemental skill before anything else. Stygian thing is bad. Yep. Columbina. Prototype Amber, that's a decent weapon. You can heal with that. 7 and 7. The normal attack, leveling up the normal attack, I would only do that if you have a small number of lunar characters, and Columbina will be forced sometimes to use normal attacks. That being said, this is her set for being off-field, so obviously this is inefficient. It's literally just because you don't have other lunar characters, and you're just forced to do this. So I'm also worried about your energy recharge on Columbina. So something, I don't have any. That's okay. So if you don't have any other lunar characters, then leveling up her normal attack is definitely worthwhile, because that gives you access to being able to use her just a little bit as needed. Yes, you do ruin the set bonus if you're just spamming her charged attacks, but if you are, like, you're not gonna rebuild her multiple times just for her to be the on-field and then get lunar characters later. I'll be pulling Nefer and Lalma. Then level it up to 6 and then leave it at 6. And just go for 8 and 8 on the skill and burst. But yeah, I'm worried about your energy recharge on her. If your Columbina isn't getting enough energy, give her an energy recharge sand or switch to the Favonius Codex. Favonius Codex is good and it does help the team a lot. And I would say that the Prototype Amber is really, really wonderful. But in a team with Nefer and Lalma, the last character basically needs to be a sustain, right? So Columbina with our Prototype Amber is nice, but I think that you should probably change to the Favonius Codex here, just to solve your problems temporarily. Because if I say, oh, well, excuse me, hiccups, just farm energy recharge substats, you're going to have to change all of this, and it's not going to be worth it. And your artifacts are good. That's way too much work. And the Favonius Codex will give you, like, what? 61% energy recharge plus Favonius particles to yourself? Llama heals? Question mark? On C0. No, she doesn't. You need, like, the first constellation. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe the second one. No, I think it's the first one. Columbina has a little bit of sustain on Constellation 1, but that's only if Lunar Crystallize is happening. So, yeah, that's that. So yeah, I would say Favonius Codex can help your Columbina get the energy she needs. She's probably getting starved really badly for energy. The Prototype Amber is good because it does provide you energy, but you need a little bit more. You need a lot more energy from your substats to make it work better. And yes, you will lose a little bit of HP if you take off this Prototype Amber and equip a Favonius Codex, but that's fine because she's making up for it. I have one piece which will get my energy to 120 plus, but my crit damage drops. Crit damage doesn't matter if she's not using her burst to do the lunar domain. Lunar reaction damage bonus. Your whole team, Nefer, Lalma, Columbina, all of them are doing the lunar reactions. If she's not using her burst, that's terrible. But I would say Favonius Codex. But 120% is still, like, not enough. She needs more. Like, a lot more. I promise you, you will be extremely comfortable just switching to the Favonius Codex. You will have a little bit less HP, but that's fine. I promise you the Favonius Codex would be good. Alright. Arlecchino and what's the other one for this account? what was the other two? Arlecchino and Jabai. Okay. All right, Arlecchino. Extra credit for you for getting an on-set goblet that's pyro damage bonus. Very good. The sand is attack, critical circlet, silken crimson moon semblance, triple crown. She's level 90. Very good. 82 elemental mastery. So there's something to highlight there. And okay, so here's something that I think you can do. Is I see that you have an excellent flower here. And your sand is obviously your weakest piece, right? So, hello, actual John Impact. I'm ending the stream after this review, so I'm sorry about that. But we may you'll have to wait till the next when I start streaming tomorrow, cause I'm ending it after this. But welcome, John Impact. Today was a very short stream. It was only like 2 hours. Yeah, but welcome. I'm sorry, but don't forget to like the stream. I know, but yeah. After this, I'm ending the stream. And this is the last person in line, Scarface. And I gotta rest for a bit. Alright, so, Nishid, Sage, I upgraded my Jabai, so she's absolutely generational now. And I absolutely look forward to seeing that tomorrow. But I should really rest after this, because I did say that I was going to end it. And I said that I was going to end it almost 20 minutes ago. And I'm 20 minutes past when I said I was. And I normally don't even stream on Mondays. This was just a thing that happened because of an inconvenience, an accident. So, just an accidental day. But anyways, here's what I got for you. Surely I don't forget to come around. I send reminders in my own Discord, actual John Impact. My Discord is right in the description of the live stream. Jabai, or we can do it tomorrow. I'll do this because I said I was. Alright, so here's my advice for your Arlecchino. So a lot of times people have a situation where they have one piece that's particularly weak. And due to the economics of how things work, I don't use Discord. That's okay. You use YouTube, and YouTube will send you a notification, Mr. John. Flowers are very uncommon to be the off piece. So the fact that you have a decent, a crazy good feather, and I know you've probably farmed for Arlecchino a lot, especially since this account is adventurer rating 59, and you've got not super duper extreme crazy builds on like a lot of characters. You've got just a strong group of like 4 here, like, or maybe 6 characters. So what I'm going to say is, I might actually have the wrong sands. Well, what I'm going to say here is change the flower, because Elemental Mastery is your weakest piece, weakest point. You got 82 Elemental Mastery, which is really good. Like, that first 100 Elemental Mastery really, really matters, like, a lot. And you got 82 of it, which is great. But since your sand is so weak, flowers are easier to find than sand pieces. So if you could get a flower that is on set, one of your flowers that's on set that was like maybe a little bit weaker than this one, you can find a significantly better sand offset. Excuse me, hiccups. So I would say taking a slightly weaker flower to have a significantly stronger sand. Because I know that you, for a fact, probably have some flowers for Arlecchino that aren't as good, but are really nice. But that all being said, this is still a pretty decent sand. You've got your elemental mastery and critical on there. You got like quite a bit of energy recharge, but that's because you just so happen to have some of that from the feather, and it's the sand. So I mean, it is what it is. Arlecchino doesn't really need that much. She just uses her energy to heal herself. So that's that. But if you wanted to improve your sand in a reasonable way, I would say do that. Either that or use only one sanctifying elixir to craft an on-set flower, and then you can use a random off-piece sand that you already have. And I'm only saying to do it this way if you already have a magnificent sand piece that's an off-piece. That's one way you can improve your Arlecchino. Reasonably. But this flower is insanely good, so, you know, I also might say it could be just a waste of resources and you might not actually upgrade anything. It might just be equal. So just kind of leave it. I'd say leave her alone. But if you wanted to force yourself to upgrade her, that would be what I would say do, is literally craft a new sand with like attack, maybe either crit rate or crit damage, and then some elemental mastery, so you don't lose your elemental mastery for melting with Arlecchino. But that's about it. Alright, Jabai, the last character of the stream. Okay, Defense Sand, Defense Goblet, Crit Circlet, 4-piece, Night of the Skies Unveiling, 9 on the Elemental Skill, 8 on the Burst. Why do you have Farina's weapon? And Flower and Feather are on set. Sand is the offset piece. That's a crazy sand, by the way. This Jabai is incredibly solid. You get an A+ on your Arlecchino, by the way, and this Jabai immediately gets an A+. She's got a 88.2% crit damage, but why? I guess you're doing it for a stat stick. That being said, if you have Farina on your account, you do. What do you even have her equipping? Oh. Okay, it makes sense now. I know why you're not using the weapon on Farina. We don't even gotta investigate that. I can see why now. I understand. That's why you're not doing it. I get it. It happens to everybody, you know. Performance issues. For those of you that don't know. Actual Giant Impact says, isn't Farina's signature weapon kind of bad for her? Yeah. Well, no, it's not that the signature weapon is bad. It's that people build Farina to work with the Fluve Sandra Ferryman, and they're using an HP send, and they're just like, well, I have enough energy. I'm fine when I use this 4-star weapon, so I'm just going to upgrade to 5-star. And then they change to a 5-star weapon, and they have no energy. And they should be using an energy sand with the Fluve Sandra, with the signature weapon. So that's the problem that ends up happening, is they forget to compensate for that reason. So, like, that's a very common trap for Farinas to fall into. They're using a energy weapon build with a crit damage weapon. So that's what happened. I mean, it's a usable weapon, but assuming adjusted build Harbinger of Dawn is a straight up upgrade. Wait, what? Farina and Yelan both need more constellations to run on their own signatures without sacrifices. Yeah, basically. Yeah, Miro nailed it. It's a trap. But, yeah, okay, so it makes sense. So you're using this as a crit damage stat stick. I was gonna say, you know, get a, I mean, for Jabai, Farina's signature sounds questionable. Yeah, it's because it's literally just 88.2% crit damage. And I was going to say, you probably might actually be better. Wait, you're running crit rate circlet so you can actually run crit damage circlet and Harbinger of Dawn? Yeah, but changing a whole entire build would be really sweaty. But you are right that it is more popular to use critical damage than critical rate. However, I would not say to use Harbinger of Dawn. I would say to use the Flute of Espetal for Jibai. It has been proven to be stronger as a weapon for Jibai than the Harbinger of Dawn. Also, the Harbinger of Dawn is like significantly more strict on its requirements of like staying above 90% HP. You have to be so defensive. Harbinger of Dawn is better if you're no-hitting. That's also, John, I would have to say about the human element of no-hitting, because when you behave in a manner where you're trying to not get hit, by nature you're less aggressive because you're trying to avoid being hit. Whereas, I don't know, if you were doing something with like, if you were unconcerned about taking damage, like with the Flute of Espetal, the Flute of Espetal can give you 104 defense. No hitting is rough, but either with Zhongli or Linnea, like, it's doable. It is. In that case, though, like, you're kind of solving that defensive option by using a super fat shield instead of, like, another character to just do more damage. So, like, survival in and of itself, just no matter what, is less damage than being, like, well, less concerned about it. It's a balancing thing. But yeah, Zhongli would definitely make the Harbinger of Dawn, like, significantly more. The Flute is what I'd recommend. I'd use it myself, but I'd use Harbinger of Dawn as an example for why Farina's signature just isn't good here, in my opinion. You are right about that. Yeah, so I would say Flute of Espetal would probably give the signature weapon of Farina a run for its money. I mean, yes, it's 88.2% crit damage, but the Flute of Espetal is literally 104% defense. So if we're going like 1 for 1, if 1% crit damage was worth 1% defense, which I don't know, I can't tell you that formula, and I'm too tired to tell you that right now, this, you'd have a lot of defense if you had the Flute of Espetal. Let me tell you that right now. Your shit's gonna be above like 3,000. And yes, you'll have like 88% less crit damage, so your crit damage would be like 200% or something like that. But, this is a big but, you'd have 100% more defense. So even though your crit damage drops by like 80%, the base damage that you deal in the first place is like another 100% defense, you know? I think I have enough defense. What do you say? I honestly could not really tell you, my friend. Because you don't really use any of the rest of the passive. When current character's HP increases or decreases, elemental skill damage dealt will be increased by 8%. Oh, wow. Okay, wait, that's actually pretty good. Never mind. I take it back. The signature weapon is better. Farina's signature is better. I didn't read the passive. I just assumed there was some HP thing that Jibai can't do. But the thing is, it's going to be hard to get that passive to activate without somebody like Farina doing it. Or burning or some shit happening. That's the thing. I still think the Flute of Espetal might still give this weapon a run for its money. Purely because, like, the fat, gigantic amounts of defense. And also, that weapon passive won't activate unless you're literally directly getting your face smashed repeatedly. Oh, right. It's lunar damage. Wait, no, but it's elemental skill damage. I don't really know. My brain is too cooked for this, man. I will say, though, that it's probably really close. So close that I think the Flute of Espetal would be better if you have somebody else that can use this weapon. KQM says it doesn't work on it. I would believe them. Can't confirm or deny though. But this is her elemental skill though. It does it. It's a lunar damage, but it's dealt by the skill. So yeah, but the thing is, how are you gonna activate this? Are you gonna put Are you gonna put Farina in a lunar damage team? Because Farina's buffs don't affect lunar damage. You're literally just using Farina to activate this, but literally nobody else benefits from anything. Like the normal attacks are lunar damage. So yeah. It would be a terrible idea to put Farina in a Jabai team. Because Farina's elemental burst just doesn't do anything, and now you're forcing the team to have a healer. Anyways. Because Farina's there. And Farina isn't buffing the lunar damage reaction. Has Farina in a team with Jabai, says Daydreamer. A decent stat stick due to the crit damage it offers, but it provides nothing else beneficial for Jabai, as she cannot trigger the passive on her own, and even if she did, her lunar crystallized skill does not affect with damage percentage buffs. Hey, thank you for that, John Impact. So yeah, I think the Flute of Espetal is probably better than this weapon. I'm like 80% sure that the Flute of Espetal, assuming that the Flute of Espetal is Refinement 5. At Refinement 1, this is still probably stronger. So, Craftable 5, Refinement 5 weapon is better. I'm pretty sure. Because this 5-star weapon doesn't provide any attack, it's literally just the crit damage. And in that case, Harbinger of Dawn might provide something that's pretty goddamn close. 88 crit damage, though? 88 crit damage is all it offers, though, Nishid. Focus on that base damage in the first place. 10,000 times 1 is still 10,000. But 10,000 times 2, now you're cooking. Just get more base damage. Even though you got a lot of defense. More defense. Flute is busy on Shalonen. Make another one. Alright, that's it. I gotta end the stream. Good night.